Thousands of years ago in Egypt, there was a mighty civilization that built some pretty spectacular pyramids. These days, people come from all over the world to see them. But nobody really knows how the Egyptians managed to build these massive structures so perfectly. It's a real head-scratcher. Now, if you were to stand at the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, it would take you about 10 minutes just to walk up its face. If you tried to climb it by hand, it would take you an hour. And a Great Pyramid is only one of 3. While archaeologists have made great strides in understanding what life was like for the ancient Egyptians, many mysteries remain. For example, we don't know where everyone went when the civilization suddenly collapsed. Some think they simply moved to other areas and their descendants are still around today. Others believe that they were wiped out by a natural disaster or war. But no one can say for sure, because the history of the Egyptians, before they built the pyramids, has been lost to time. Still, despite the fact that we don't know much about them, we do know that they created some amazing things during their lifetimes. The pyramids are just one example. They also built huge temples and tombs for their pharaohs, as well as inventing a system of writing and making incredible works of art. But here's what we don't know. What if the Egyptians didn't go anywhere? What if they're still around? And more importantly, what if they had something to do with the pyramids? Well, that might sound crazy, but there's actually some evidence to suggest that it might be true. For example, there are reports from ancient Greek and Roman historians that tell stories about a mysterious people who lived deep within the Egyptian deserts. They called these people the Nasamonians, and they said that they lived in a hidden city made entirely of gold. The Nasamonians were said to be very advanced and had knowledge of things that the outside world was unready for. In fact, some believe that they were the true builders of the pyramids, and that they used the structures as tombs for their greatest leaders. It sounds like a far-fetched theory, but it's not as crazy as it seems. There are actually some pretty interesting facts about the pyramids that don't really make sense. For example, the pyramids are perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions. This isn't surprising in and of itself, but what is strange is that the Egyptians didn't have any advanced tools to help them do this. They would have had to use nothing more than a simple tool like a compass, which they didn't have. Yet somehow they managed to build these massive structures so accurately. There's also the fact that the pyramids are incredibly big. The Great Pyramid is over 450 feet tall and has a square base of over 13 acres. It took an estimated 2 million workers over 20 years to build it. So, why did the Egyptians go through all this trouble? What was so important about building these massive structures? Well, according to legend, the pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs. The idea was that when the pharaoh died, his body would be mummified and then placed inside the pyramid. The pyramid was then filled with all of the pharaoh's treasures, and then the entrance was sealed shut so that the pharaoh could enjoy his riches for eternity. Of course, this is just a legend, and we know that the Egyptians didn't actually bury their pharaohs inside the pyramids. Instead, they placed their sarcophagi deep inside the structures, hidden away in secret chambers. But why did they do this? Was it just to protect their pharaoh's remains? Or was there something else going on here? Well, according to some, the Egyptians were trying to hide their pharaohs from the rest of the world. You see, the Egyptians believed that their pharaohs were gods among men, and when they died, they didn't want their bodies to be disturbed. That's why they hid their sarcophagi in secret chambers deep within the pyramids. They didn't want anyone to get their hands on them, because they believed that doing so would bring bad luck. But what if someone did find the hidden sarcophagus? Well, according to legend, terrible things would happen. The person who found the sarcophagus would be cursed, and they would die within a year and a day. Now, obviously, this is just a legend. There's no evidence that any curse like this actually exists. but the Egyptians believed it with all their hearts. And that's why they took such great pains to hide their pharaoh's remains. Some believe that this is why we haven't found any evidence of the Egyptian civilization yet. They were so good at hiding things that we simply haven't been able to find anything. But what if we're on the right track? What if we've already found the Egyptians, but we just don't know it yet? Take, for example, the discovery of King Tut's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. Archaeologists were shocked to find that the tomb had been robbed in antiquity, but they soon realized that the thieves hadn't stolen everything. They had left behind a number of artifacts, including a golden mask that was said to have been cursed. Many people believe that this mask was cursed, and that anyone who looked upon it would die. Of course, this is just a legend, but it is possible that the Egyptians were trying to protect their pharaoh's remains even after they had died. Perhaps the reason we have unfound any evidence of the Egyptians is because they're still around today. Maybe they never went anywhere, and maybe they're living in secret, hidden away from the rest of the world. It might sound like a crazy theory, but it's not as far-fetched as it seems. After all, the Egyptians were some of the most advanced people of their time. They had a complex system of government, a written language, and even a form of democracy. They were also very superstitious and believed in the power of curses. It's entirely possible that they managed to hide their civilization from us. What do you think? Are the Egyptians still around today? Let me know in the comments below. And speaking of the Egyptians, there's one place that you can visit to learn all about their amazing civilization. It's an incredible place where you can see real mummies and artifacts from ancient Egypt. You can even explore a replica of an Egyptian tomb. It is an amazing experience that will teach you all about one of the most fascinating civilizations in history. And now for your next adventure, click the link in the description below. It's the story of the lost city of Atlantis. Everyone's heard of Atlantis, but no one knows for sure if it ever really existed. What if I told you that there is a secret portal hidden somewhere in the ocean that leads to this mythical place? No joke. It's totally real, and you can visit it today. Click the link in the description below to find out where this portal is hidden and learn all about the lost city of Atlantis. If you liked this story, be sure to click the subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.